Welcome to Team Lorax's final presentation. The agenda for this presentation is as follows. We will review Team Lorax's results at the firm, brand, and segment levels. We will then transition to a discussion of the marketing lessons learned, including keys to success and learnings, such as what we would do differently next time and how better decisions could have impacted results. Finally, we will get more granular and discuss how we implemented key marketing concepts to ensure effective segmentation and targeting of our market, and how we leveraged an effective mix of product, price, place, and promotion to achieve superior results. Team Lorax's performance at the firm level was outstanding by nearly every measure. Final share price index, 4,604, more than double the second place firm, which came in at 2,285. Cumulative revenues, $1,145,763,000, nearly double the second place firm, which was just under $581 million. Cumulative budget, $150 million, nearly double the second place firm, which came in under $89 million. Cumulative net contribution, $545,674,000, more than double the second place firm, which was just under $210 million. Cumulative retail sales, $1,753,790,000, nearly double the second place firm, which was just under $901 million. Team Lorax's performance at the brand level was impressive. Our competitors were not even close. 3 of our brands finished number 1 in their respective segments, and 2 finished number 2 in their respective segments. When one looks at total retail sales over the course of the simulation, Team Lorax's brands outperformed the competitions on a consistent basis. Team Lorax's performance at the segment level was strong. As a portfolio of brands targeted at different segments, the Lorax portfolio exploited segment opportunities more successfully than that of any competitor. First place among professionals was Team Lorax. Second place among savers. Second place among explorers. Fourth place among shoppers. And second place among high earners. We now transition to marketing lessons learned. Team Lorax believes the keys to success are as follows. 1. Take a loan early. Team Lorax's single most effective decision was to take an early $5 million loan. The money allowed us to do things that our competitors could not, which gave us an early and sustainable lead. 2. Focus one brand per segment. Team Lorax correctly predicted that attempting to please more than one segment with a single brand would result in a brand that appealed to no one, given the alternative competitive products in the marketplace. 3. Produce sufficient inventory. Team Lorax realized early that underproducing inventory and the resulting loss of sales to competitors would be extremely costly, but overproducing was relatively inconsequential from a cost perspective, even if liquidation was required. 4. Automate information management. Given the massive flow of information to be assimilated, Team Lorax automated with Excel the analysis and decision support process. 5. Protect contribution. Team Lorax remained focused on contribution. This served us well in terms of balancing pricing and profitability with market share. We believe our strong contribution performance drove our consistently high SPI. 6. Apply real-world experience. Team Lorax was served well by defaulting to real-world experience when facing many of the challenges posed by the simulation. 7. Commit the time. Team Lorax realized that in order to optimize our chances for winning and learning, we would have to commit a significant amount of time. Between individual and group efforts, each member of Team Lorax invested on average over 15 hours per week. 8. Have fun. Take chances, have spirited debates, recognize teammates, celebrate group successes. Having fun provides the energy required to master a project as demanding as this simulation. Here we focus on lessons learned in terms of what we would do differently next time, why, and the impact of better decisions on Team Lorax results. Continuous research and development must engage in ongoing R&D to keep up with the changing consumer desires and demonstrate that brands are not stagnant. The continuous R&D should be done even though the feedback from Coach Report may say, quote, "It does not seem necessary to do any R&D on this product," end quote. The impact would have resulted in Lorax brands in the marketplace that better suited its customers and hence improved purchase intentions. Consumers' perceptions are reality. Team Lorax learned that R&D in supplying a product that aligns with the consumer's ideal is not sufficient to drive purchase intentions. Only if the consumer perceives the product to be aligned with their desires will they intend to purchase the product. The impact of creating awareness for certain attributes, including pricing, would have resulted in greater sales. Brand repositioning and awareness time. Team Lorax learned that it takes time with disciplined advertising to make it onto consumers' awareness radar, particularly when repositioning a brand through advertising and/or modifications. Competitors' performance improves over time. Team Lorax learned that there are things that we could get away with early in the simulation, like not advertising price, market skimming, or not modifying a product to meet consumers' ideals, that just didn't work as the competition became more savvy. Team Lorax effectively divided its consumer market into segments and then selected the most attractive segments to target with the appropriate offerings. Team Lorax considered demographic and psychographic factors when segmenting its consumer markets. Demographic segmenting was used when appealing to shoppers' desire to obtain value as they comparison shop to ensure that they get a lot for what they paid. Professionals exemplify a group where psychographic targeting can exploit the tendency to equate high price with high quality. Team Lorax decided whether to pursue the entire market, multiple segments, or niche segments. If we define the entire market as the market basket that encompasses all potential purchasers of handheld electronics, then Lorax characterizes the Sonite market as something other than a mass targeting play. Rather, Lorax focused on multiple segments and, for the most part, niche segments, where Lorax targeted each niche segment with a unique brand. Team Lorax figured out how to position its brands such that they occupied a distinctive place in the minds of its target segments. Competitive frame of reference was defined by Team Lorax as the other brands with which we competed and should be the focus of competitive analysis. Points of difference and points of parity were considered by Team Lorax once we defined the competitive frame of reference to help us further determine the segments in which we were likely to be successfully marketing our brand's attributes and benefits. Team Lorax employed several differentiation strategies in order to avoid being perceived as a commodity. Competitive advantage was Team Lorax's ability to perform in one or more ways that competitors could not match. Channel differentiation was Team Lorax's ability to select, develop, and influence a channel so that the consumer would have a buying experience that was easier, more enjoyable, and more rewarding. Image differentiation was used by Team Lorax to create compelling images that appealed to customers' social and psychological needs. This was done in the simulation largely through advertising and effective advertising research. Team Lorax learned about the marketing mix and its key components: product, price, promotion, and place. First, we will discuss product. Product differentiation was Team Lorax's ability to position our product's attributes and benefits such that consumers would not perceive us to be a commodity and easily substitutable. Portfolio management involved the relationships between brands and how they work together to meet the needs of the consumers as well as those of the business. An important part of marketing is product lifecycle management. Through the simulation, we were able to control both new product development and marketing through the lifecycle phases. These lifecycle phases can be broken down into three main buckets: growth, maturity, and decline. Team Lorax made decisions about investment and focus based on the lifecycle phase the product was in and whether we felt we could extend a brand's time in the growth phase. Another component of the marketing mix is price. Team Lorax learned to exploit consumer psychology to derive the best possible price for the consumer and for the business. Things we considered included reference prices, how consumers perceived prices relative to everyday prices and to competitors' pricing, and price quality inferences, a phenomenon we exploited in the professional segment. Team Lorax put a lot of thought and analysis into its price-setting decisions. We were determined and successful at contribution maximization. Sometimes it was best for the short and long-term business to set pricing high enough to achieve a strong contribution rather than the highest possible market share. Market skimming is a product pricing strategy by which Team Lorax charged the highest initial price that customers would pay. As the demand of the first customers was satisfied, Team Lorax lowered the price to attract another, more price-sensitive segment until we could develop a brand specifically for that segment. Team Lorax learned about different price-setting methods. Target return pricing was used by Team Lorax when we set the price in order to yield a specific rate of return on an investment. Value pricing was used in the shopper segment to win customers by charging a fairly low price for a relatively high quality offering. This involved both setting lower prices and building internal operations, like the ability to produce at a low base cost without sacrificing quality. Going rate pricing, where competitors' pricing set the standard, was rarely used by Team Lorax, although it did temper and inform our pricing. A third component of the marketing mix is place. Simply put, place is where the consumer shops. In the simulation, consumers shopped in one or more of three places, or channels: mass merchandisers, specialty stores, and online stores. These channels served an important role by moving product from the producer to the consumer. Team Lorax learned that it is very important to make sure the product resides where the consumer shops. The two strategies employed by Team Lorax to ensure the intersection of Lorax brands with Lorax customers were the push strategy and the pull strategy. With the push strategy, the commercial team or salespeople influenced channels to carry the product. With the pull strategy, advertising was used to persuade customers to demand product from the channel. Team Lorax put significant thought and analysis into identifying channel alternatives. When evaluating channels, we considered the type of channel, number of channels, and over time whether we needed to modify channel selection. Team Lorax leveraged an integrated multi-channel marketing system. Strategies and tactics of selling through one channel reflected the strategies and tactics of selling through one or more other channels. This was particularly important to Team Lorax, given that we had a large portfolio spanning multiple channels. The final component of the marketing mix is promotion. Promotion includes, but is not limited to, advertising, personal selling, public relations, events, direct marketing, interactive marketing, word-of-mouth communication, and sales promotion. All of these communication avenues exist for one purpose: to get the word out. Team Lorax understood that getting the word out is critical in order to achieve the following promotion objectives: brand awareness, brand attitude, and brand purchase intentions. Team Lorax learned the importance of effective communication design. We always spent as much money as permitted on research to ensure that our advertising was hitting its mark as effectively as possible. Team Lorax discovered that there are a lot of factors to consider when deciding on an advertising budget. These factors include things such as the life cycle phase the product is in and product substitutability. Less differentiated products require heavier advertising. Team Lorax believes that part of its success was due to its very active commercial team engaged in personal selling. Presumably, the commercial team was able to influence channels to give Team Lorax brands preferential treatment. Team Lorax focused a lot of time and energy on measurement of promotion activity. The analysis of quantitative measures allowed us to consider brand awareness, purchase intentions, and resulting market share and sales to ensure a good decision-making. In summary, the execution of these concepts described in this presentation contributed to Team Lorax achieving the highest SPI in each of the 8 periods and thus winning the marketing simulation.